Basically, in a nutshell, Alzheimer's is a type of dementia that affects memory and the overall lifestyle of the individual that has Alzheimer's. In the late stages, then because of lack of nutrition, lack of hydration, the body begins to break down and eventually the patient literally passes away. And that is so hard on families to be able to accept and to live with that, to see someone just decline so very fast.
Ed and I met when we were 5 years old in kindergarten. We spent elementary school together. We lived on the same street. We played together with the neighborhood, played softball, played games, went roller skating together on Friday nights. When high school came, Ed went to one high school, I went to another, so we had no connection whatsoever at that time. We got together again 1 year after we graduated from high school, and 3 years later we got married. We were 21 years old when we got married. We lived in a small town in Illinois, Belleville, Illinois. Our first child, Lisa, was born in Belleville. Ed at that time was working for Sears as an operating and collection manager. His biggest happiness at that time was when Lisa was born. She was his delight. Shortly after that, we moved to Chicago with his job, and our second child, Edward, was born there. They were 4 years apart. Ed was very family-oriented. He loved his children. He did things with his children. He was good, very happy. I began noticing little changes in Ed, which led me to think, what's happening here? His mother had had Alzheimer's, and I was seeing a little bit of traits. Ed and I decided to move to McKinney, Texas, where our daughter and her family were, because I was beginning to feel that I was going to need some help. And shortly after we got to Texas, Ed was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They immediately took his driving away from him, and that was very, very hard on him. He just couldn't take it. So we had a golf cart. So I told him, I said, okay, this is your car. So he used to drive the golf cart around. He drove me around. At first he drove by himself, but we got to the point where we knew that wasn't going to work. But that was his salvation, was his golf cart. I took care of him for 6 years at home, but then things began to get real bad. He began falling all the time. He couldn't dress himself. He was beginning to have problems eating. And one night he fell straight into the coffee table, which was glass, and hurt his head. And the kids decided, Mom, it's time. We have to make a change for Dad to make him safe.
The really hard thing about watching this disease now is it has taken a man that loved life, didn't expect a lot out of life. He had his boat, he had his golf clubs, they had their long-term friends, and now he has, little by little over the past 8 years, lost any independence, any dignity, and it is horrible to watch that happen to your parent. He has gone to where now he really just kind of sits. Every once in a while we get some discussion with him, but not much. The hardest part about all of this for me has been that my parents were always there for me. My parents always took care of me. And now the roles are reversed and I have to take care of them. And that happens with most people as their parents get old. But the worst thing about Alzheimer's is that it's such a loss of dignity. Somebody goes from being this great independent person to not even being able to feed themselves. And to watch that happen to my dad has been horrifying.
Should I just meet you there? Now stay outside. I'm on my daily journey to the nursing home. Ed has been in the nursing home now for 15 months. I pretty much go every day. I know a lot of friends and family don't think I should.
But walking in there and I say hi, and he looks at me and he smiles, his big smile. That's all I need. But I do visit him every day. It's just a pleasure to get out of him whatever I can at this point in time.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you? How are you? I love that smile. You give me that smile every day. I love it. What makes this disease very difficult is the big change that he's had to go through. He's not the same person. He can't walk anymore. He can't feed himself anymore. And it's very lonely. Ed and I have been married 59 years. We were always together. We did everything together. We did everything on vacations with our children. And now it's just very lonesome. It's hard to be home. Thank God I got our little dog, Zaggy. But I love this man, and it's just hard to watch him go through this.